Hello, everybody. It's Kim Danke, your Shibboleth new member fast track instructor. Welcome to our Wednesday night class. We are about to see how to create a grocery list. We're going to explore the recipe library. We are going to add foods from the food library to our grocery list. We're going to add entire recipes to our grocery list and have lots of fun doing it. Okay, we're going to learn all about the different food options. Hopefully, as you go through this week, that you are learning some options that you can put on your meal list, because Shibboleth is just about switching around what you eat in a way that will control insulin. So it's all about finding the new things. So we're going to give everybody a chance to get on here. If you are watching on Facebook, please say hello and how much weight that you have lost if you're a member. If you are not a member, please let us know that you're a non-member just watching. I would love to be able to answer any questions that you might have. If you are one of our members, we would love for you to share. Push that share button in your bottom left-hand corner and get the word out. Hey, Tina, I see you on Facebook. Those of you who are in the Zoom room, if you don't mind, please go ahead and familiarize yourself with where the chat button is, just so that you can ask me any questions. Now, this is a meeting. If you want to, Tina's lost 1 pound. Yay! I love it, Tina. She just got started, so that was awesome. If you want to show your face, you can. If you don't, that's no big deal too. But you feel free to chat. Also, if you don't mind, keep yourself muted while I am talking. But if you have a question, please feel free to unmute and ask it. Okay, so, but the only reason I say to mute is because it'll help keep background noise down. Yay, Emily! Emily's lost 13 pounds. Awesome. That's wonderful. And y'all don't forget to share for me, okay, so we can learn all about this awesome lifestyle that has helped me lose 50 pounds and now keep it off. And you know what we do? We eat food. We eat lots of yummy, good food. We just learn how to do it right. Okay. So that's just the things we are going to teach you. Let's see. Laurie from, I got to know how to say that, Laurie. How do you say that? Alapaho. Ilapoho. I don't know. I'm being silly, y'all. Please forgive me. I started Monday at 128 and weighed in this morning at 125. Awesome, Lori. That's fabulous. Yeah. Yeah, I'm your silly girl. I can definitely be silly. So might as well, right? All right, let's see. A minute there. Dawn came out and went back in. Okay. Let's see. Make sure everybody's there. Okay, if you are finding us on Facebook, just to let you know, the special is still on. It was supposed to have ended the other night. Our developers sometimes are a little slow in taking that down. So go to www.shibbolethdeals.com and you can get a membership, a lifetime membership for $59. Okay, $59. It'll be the best money you've ever spent on yourself, I promise. So please make sure that you get your membership if you are not a member. All right. And if somebody told you about Shibboleth, an actual human person told you about Shibboleth, not Google, not Facebook, all of that, put in their actual name, not just friend, relative, coworker. Put in their name because we like to tell them thank you. Okay. But if you did hear about it on Google or Facebook, please let us know. All right, we're going to go ahead and get started. We got a lot to cover tonight. I'm going to share my screen with you. And we're going to go to the fast track laps. This is what we are doing this week. We are working our way through the fast track laps. If you are brand new, when you log in, you should be going, it'll go directly to your fast track. Okay, but if you're not brand new, it comes up to this instructor page and then you have to click on fast track. Okay. Thank you, Wendy, for tagging people on Facebook. It's very important. Thank you. Okay, lap 4. So if you want the shortened, condensed version of what I am going to do tonight, it's this video right here. It says lap 4. It's 10 minutes. And it's the shortened version of what we're going to do tonight. But what we're going to do tonight is, give you an opportunity to ask questions. Okay. So the very first thing we're going to do is we're going to familiarize ourselves with the recipe library. This is available to silver level members and up. So if you are a Tiger's Eye lifetime member, you've got this. If you are a fast track member, then you would have a smaller recipe library, not the big giant one. Okay, so just keep that in mind. And so I'm going to read this black box because I'm going to do this with you just like I would do it if I was doing it on my own. Search the recipe library for your favorites, a database built by our Shibboleth family. As you are exploring, please heart each recipe you think you might like to try. Hearting the recipe adds it to your personal favorites, which can be found in your My Journal tab or the My Favorites tab in the recipe library. Why is it important to heart recipes that you like? Because we see posts like this every week. Hey, I'm wondering if somebody can help me out. I was looking in the recipe library and I saw this recipe that I wanted to try and I can't find it again. And it had chicken in it and it had some pasta in it. And we're like, we don't know. We can't tell you which one that is. But if you just will heart them, just knowing that you might even like to try it, go ahead and heart it because it'll be there for you. If you then make it and for some reason don't like it, you can always unheart it and take it back out of your favorites. Okay, so do me a favor, heart anything that looks interesting to you. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to click on this recipe library. I see Shibby Shop Sherry joined us. Hey, Shibby Shop Sherry. Hello, everybody. Shibby Shop Sherry is awesome, y'all. You can see her right there in that little pink shirt. She helps people at our Kennesaw Shibby Shop from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday. She's wonderful. And if you call the Shibby Shop, this is the lady you're talking to right here. Wave, Sherry. There she is. Okay, that's Shibby Shop Sherry. All right. So we're going to look through some recipes. Now, if you'll notice, Julie Mirandino has termed this recipe library our cookbook. Okay, it's sort of like you could get a $59 cookbook with a free weight loss and wellness program attached to it. Okay, so we have, let me explain a few things about this. Do you see these pictures here? These pictures change every time you come into the food library. So it's always like going, ooh, that looks good. Sauteed Brussels sprouts with walnuts and lemon. So these change regularly and you can look them up. But let's see how this recipe library or our cookbook is organized. It's organized by categories or types like appetizer. And then it just lists out every appetizer there. So if you just want to scan, if you want to scan it, you can just scan it and then pick some things and click on them and look at them and see how if I continue to scroll down, I go through all the appetizers and then there's breakfast items. I am about to make this one. I'm making this best breakfast casserole. Let's go ahead and look at that. I'm going to make this best breakfast casserole for Friday morning. My son graduates from high school tomorrow night, and I will have lots and lots of people at my house on Friday morning. And we already know everybody likes this breakfast casserole, even if they aren't thinking about Shibboleth. Okay, this is still like a rockin' casserole. So you take 16 ounces of turkey sausage and then a half of a red bell pepper, a quarter of an onion, 3 cups of egg whites, 2 cups Kroger Carb Master or fat-free Fairlife milk, 1 teaspoon salt, 1 teaspoon dry mustard, 2 cups of fat-free cheddar cheese, 6 slices of category 2 bread. Doesn't that sound like just a regular old breakfast casserole? Pretty much, but we changed the bread. That makes a huge difference in the way that this recipe will respond in your body, okay? We changed the cheese because a lot of times we're just using regular cheese, but we're going to do fat-free. We're going to do egg whites instead of whole eggs. We're going to use Kroger Carb Master milk. All of this tastes exactly like a breakfast casserole, but it's going to be a fat burning breakfast casserole rather than a fat storing breakfast casserole. So this is a wonderful recipe. Recipe. Yeah, delicious. So let me just go back and continue going over how this is organized. Okay, so did you see how when I went back, It edited all of this. So every single time there's going to be new things there. So let me click that. But let's scroll back down. We have breakfasts, and then we could keep scrolling, and we got condiments, desserts, and so forth. So you can see how that is organized just in a list form, all right? But if you're thinking, okay, I don't want to scroll all the way through that list, I just want to go directly to some side dishes over here on the right-hand side. Do you see where it says types? This is like in a cookbook, how it would be separated by these things. So let's go to side dish. And there we go. There's all of our side dishes. Now let's have a look here, because in the beginning, I kind of like to make the items that are best for weight loss. Do you see this little thing I'm playing with right here? This is the weight loss meter. What the weight loss meter is, it's kind of based on the game of golf, in that you would like for the lower the score, the better in golf. So we have our weight loss meter. It's on foods and on recipes. So -3 to +3. 0 right in the center, not going to help you, not going to hurt you. -3s would be better for weight loss. +3s, if you do them every once in a while, it will not bring you out of EFB, and it would be okay in weight loss. But if you were doing them regularly at every meal, you might not see the results that you want, and they might be better kept for maintenance, okay? But just keep that in mind. Sometimes those are those things that somebody really wanted added to the food library, and we figured out a way to do it for them, but we just warned them, hey, this one's going to be not so great for weight loss, so just be prepared. Well, let's take this and scroll this down here to -1, -3. Hey, Patty Bass. Patty Bass is on Facebook right now, and she just got her 75-pound loss badge this morning. Woo woo! Patty, way to go. So we're going to hit set right there. And what that did is it filtered everything that was listed in side dish that wasn't a -1 to -3. It filtered it out. So it just kind of lets us have a look at the best of the best in the recipes, okay? Let's see. Awesome, Leah. Leah said that she heard her testimony last night. It was so inspirational. It certainly was. Patty's my buddy. Okay, so we are going to come through here and just kind of look. Guess what I have found I really like now? Butternut squash fries. Somebody just asked on Facebook, hey, what is the food that you miss the most, and what do you replace it with? Well, French fries. I mean, I really like French fries a whole bunch. I was like, let me see how many French fries I can get in a day before Shibboleth, but I don't do that anymore. So now broccoli is the new French fry when I'm out at restaurants. But if I'm at home, look what I'll make. I'll make some of this right here. A medium butternut squash cut in long strips, about 1/2 inch thick, and some cooking spray and some salt. You put that in an air fryer and let that thing just roll and cook. These things are delicious. And a butternut squash is a beast to cut. So if you happen to have a grocery store that's willing to cut things for you, like I go to Ingles here in Georgia, and they'll cut that up for me if they don't have any already cut. So they'll cut it up for me. It is worth just the wait and letting them cut it up for you. Really, really is. Okay, so you can kind of see how the recipe library works. And remember, see, I already hearted this one. Remember how I said if you think you might like it, heart it, heart it. 214 other people have liked this recipe as well. And it's a -1 on weight loss meter. That's good. And you can see I really do like this recipe because I came in here and gave it 5 stars too. So this is another great way to rate something. Now I'm going to do something real quick. I'm going to click here on butternut squash. When I click there, it's taking me to the food library, so I can read more about this butternut squash. If I am not familiar with this butternut squash, I can read a little bit more. Okay, it's a fibrous carb, which we call a category 2 or FC. This is what I did in the beginning. I mean, I wanted to know all about these things. Okay, it could be used as a freebie, but I don't put freebies with meals. That would only be used in a moment when I was wanting to give in. Okay, and this is also a gluten-free product. Okay, awesome. Approved portion, up to 1 cup, or the 1 hand rule. Okay, then I would come down here and I'd read the description. Butternut squash counts as a category 2 or freebie as long as there are no sauces added. It's a freebie as long as there are no sauces added. Remember portion control with freebies. Eat one serving and wait to see if you're full before eating more. Honestly, if you want seconds, you can have it 4 to 6 hours later, okay? Seconds don't come immediately. In fact, I highly suggest that you go right ahead and after you have portioned out your meal, put it all in containers and put it in the fridge right away. Because if it's sitting on the stove, what are we going to do? Go back over there and get some more. Let's go ahead and put it away. But then the other thing is, I have eaten plenty of Travis's spaghetti for breakfast because guess what that was? That was the next meal I could have it as. And I wanted more the night before. And I said, nope, I'm going to have it for breakfast the next morning. That'll give me my seconds, but in the way that's going to help me, not hurt me. So tips on preparing the squash are listed there, but that's not why I came here. I came here because look, all of these recipes have butternut squash in it, which is great. There's 2 pages of recipes with butternut squash in it. And when you're looking at these recipes, this will show you the weight loss meter. If I click right there, it's going to regenerate my list and put them all in order. Okay, so this one they didn't give a weight loss meter to, but this would be a -3 on the weight loss meter, and all of these are -2 on the weight loss meters, and so forth. So you can see how you can rank those. Okay, look, butternut squash hash browns. This means 386 people have also said they like this one, and it got a rating of 4.6. So just to let you know, this is member entered data. If people don't go in and enter the data, then we don't have it. So right here on this chili lime nutter butternut fries, nobody's rated it. 36 people have hearted it, but nobody's gone back and rated it. So that's what that's for. Hey, Polly. Okay, let's see. I got some questions here. Man, y'all are talking. This chat, let's see. Okay, do they reheat well if you store them in the fridge? So Tracy, I think they do reheat well if you just go ahead and cook them the same way. You know, you put some heat on them, and I like to make them crispy. So if before I had my air fryer, I would put them in the oven about 400 degrees at 20 minutes and let them get all crispy. Each ingredient lists what it is, but how do we know how to count a particular meal? Okay, so Dawn, we'll go back to that in just a second. And then Phyllis, way to go. Phyllis says, way to go, awesome. You go, girl, Patty. And Dawn, why don't you put freebies with meals? Because we are not wanting to stretch our stomach out, and freebies still take up space. So what you want to do is you want to make a properly combined meal. And then, because if you just added a whole bunch more broccoli, which is a freebie if you haven't cooked it in an oil, then it would really just be stretching your stomach out. So it's all about not stretching your stomach out. Okay, for example, if you have a meal and then some sugar-free Jello with it, sugar-free Jello would not stretch out your stomach because it's just liquidy. So that would work. Okay, that would work. And that would still be a perfect day. Yeah. But it's the point is to not stretch out your stomach, because we don't want people thinking, oh, it's a freebie, I can have as much of it as I want. No, because we're trying to get our stomachs back to the proper size, and even putting freebies in can stretch it out. And if we feel full, we've overeaten, y'all. Okay. Dawn, at the bottom of each recipe, you'll have the combination listed for you. That's great. Thank you, Sherry. Okay, awesome. So we're going to go back and we're going to click on this. I'm going to go back. We're going to go right here. So I'm going to show you right here what Sherry was talking about. See right here where it says serving notes, it tells you that it's a category 2. But if the meal itself, let's say that you're making cream cheese chicken chili. If you're making cream cheese chicken chili, it's probably a 1 and a 6 or something like that. Let's go look it up. And I'll show you. That way you can write it. The recipe will tell you what to write in the categories in your journal. And look right here. Do you see how it says foods for 1 or 2 people, cooking for the family, crock pot meals, just a few ingredients, no bake? These are all different filters that you can use in finding recipes in the recipe library. Okay, let's find the cream cheese chicken chili. Okay, cream cheese, chicken chili. Oh my goodness. Well, it's a 0 on the weight loss meter. Not going to help you, not going to hurt you, but it'll be fine. Look, 999 people have said that they like this recipe, and it's got a 4.9 rating. So let's click there. And guess what? I've never made it. Anyway, all right. But I'm going to want to make it, so let me heart it. Okay, so we're going to come down here. Serving notes. This is a category 6 with a category 1 and a condiment. So that is what you would write in the category listing in your journal. So this is a superfood, a lean protein with a condiment. And then if you come down here, look at all these comments. I would suggest reading these comments because sometimes, have you ever followed a recipe exactly and then you eat it and you think, well, what happened to that? That wasn't very good. But then you go back and you try to figure out maybe where the problem was, and then you read all the notes underneath the recipe and you're like, oh, if I just read those ahead of time, then I might have edited it. But a lot of times if we see that there's a problem going on, we'll edit the recipe. Okay, Ray, how do you get the ingredients into your shopping list? We're going to do that right now, Ray. But do y'all love that? You love the cookbook? Hey, Roxanne, glad you're here. And Polly says butternut squash is good, sweet or savory. And Wendy is reminding people to ask questions if you have any. That's awesome. So y'all give me some thumbs up if you like this. I just like knowing that what I cook now is going to be helpful, not hurtful. Okay. Thank you on Facebook for that thumbs up. So once you have played around in the recipe library and you feel comfortable that you know about the recipe library, you go ahead and check that box off, okay? So this next little task says, create a grocery list in the resources, foods, and recipes tab. And this is available, thank you, Becky. This is available to silver level and up members. So Fast Track members won't have access to this because they don't have a fully paid membership. Okay, so let's go here. And I'm going to create a grocery list. The reason that I say to create a grocery list first is because if you don't have a grocery list already created, there's no list to add the things to. So this is how you create a grocery list. You go to the Resources, Foods, and Recipes tab. You click Add Grocery List. I'm just going to pick today, and I'm going to call this Publix. I've been creating one for Ingalls, so I'm going to change up and create Publix. Okay. So see how it shows up right here? And these are my previous grocery lists, which I can update previous grocery lists and just reuse the same one, or I can delete it if I'm tired of it being there, if I'm not using it. So this is my grocery list. Always remember, in order to add things to a grocery list, you have to have one created. So you want to create the grocery list first. So that's why this task says, in order to add foods to a grocery list, the list must be created first. If you shop at multiple stores, go ahead and set up a grocery list for each store that you go to, okay? That way it's already there. Once you feel comfortable that you know how to make a grocery list, just go ahead and check that box off. Okay, this next task, it says add a food item from the food library to a grocery list available to silver level and up members. For practice, pick any food item from the food library and add it to one of your grocery lists. Adding a food item to a grocery list can be done in 2 places. In the food list, it's at the last button to the right of the food item listing. Once you've opened the food item, it's the green button that looks like a list. So I'm going to click this button. It's going to take me to the food library. So let's say that I'm going to get some lean protein. Let's see. Thank you, Phyllis. I'm glad you love it. Tara just went to stop and shop looking for appropriate foods, almond milk and egg whites and special K protein, all bought for the first time ever. Awesome, Tara. I have tried lots of new things on Shibboleth that I would have never attempted. Butternut squash. I had never eaten it before Shibboleth, and now I'm like, butternut squash, let's make it, hun. So it's funny how when we just decide I want to try a few new things, and when you see pictures on the Shibboleth Silver Level Facebook group of turnips being used as potatoes, you're going to think, I've never eaten a turnip in my life. And they're using it as a category 2 potato. So think about this. There's lots of people using these as potatoes in recipes, and their family doesn't have any idea it's a turnip. So y'all go try that out. Okay. So as you can see right here, I've got chicken breast listed, and I've already hearted it because I spend time going through and hearting things. All right. If you know that you want chicken breast and you don't feel any reason, Debbie, I'm sorry, I didn't see your question. It must have just gone up fast. Okay, but if you don't see any reason to open that up and look at the category and look at all the details, then you can just go ahead and hit this button right here, add to grocery list. And it's going to pull up this pop-up box and it's going to ask you to choose the grocery list. I'm just going to click Publix and click add. Okay, so let's say I want to get some 96% lean ground beef. But let's say I'm curious about lean ground beef. I'm going to click there. It's a category 1 lean protein. It's also gluten-free. My approved portion would be 2 to 8 ounces. But I'm going to tell y'all, I have never measured anything. This is my lean protein hand. I just eat it. I'm not your calorie counter. I'm not your measurer. I'm not counting macros. I'm not doing all that. This is why Shibboleth works so good for me. I put a properly combined meal on a plate and I cover it with my hands. And if I can't see it, that gives me my calorie deficit. Okay. It's that simple. So we're going to come down here and I want to read this description. Any ground meat that has less than 20% calories from fat works as a category 1 ground meat. These will usually be marked with 96% lean or better on the front of the package, but you can turn the package over to look at the nutrition information to be sure. The percent of leanness listed on the front by weight instead of calories, I wouldn't even care anything about that. Okay, I would just look at it and do this. But if you care, go read it all. But you know, it is ground meat. Now, just to let you know, 93 to 95.9% lean ground meat is a category 4, protein plus fat. So you just want to make sure that you don't eat anything with that that's going to bring an insulin release. Because remember, if you have an insulin release while fat is in your meal, it's going to capture the fat in the meal, and that wouldn't be a perfect day. All right. If it is less than 93% lean, it's a ground meat. That is not approved for a Shibboleth perfect day. Now, you could have it on a holiday if you wanted to, but it's not approved for a Shibboleth perfect day. So let's say that we're here now and we've decided, yes, I want to add this to my grocery list. Then we just go ahead and click that button and it'll pull up that same pop-up and then you can add it to Publix and there you go. So that's how you add food items to the grocery list. Okay, so this is even better. We can add entire recipes to the grocery list. It's available to silver level members and up. Dawn, okay, 95, it is approved. Yeah, so I'm going to repeat that. 93% to 95.9% is a category 4. So it's approved as a category 4. But if you have less than 93% lean, that's what's not approved for a perfect day. Now, I want you to keep in mind, though, when you go out to restaurants and you order a hamburger, but you don't order the bun and you have it with a side salad to have a perfect day, their meat is probably less than 93. But you know what? We're not going to worry about that at a restaurant. We are trying to have a practical, sustainable lifestyle that we can all keep up with and do for the rest of our life. But when you're making it at home, you do want to make sure that it's the right thing. Okay. Okay, so we're going to read this. Each recipe required ingredient can be added to a grocery list with the click of a button. Once the recipe has been opened, click the green Add to Grocery List button. So we're going to click right there. And I'm going to go to the breakfast casserole because guess what? I need to actually go buy those ingredients. So this is helping me out tonight. Wait, that's not the one I wanted. You know why that's not the one I wanted? That had too much big green stuff and orange stuff and yellow stuff on it. Let's show you this. This is the one I want. See, I'm a picky eater, y'all. See, look, that one doesn't have as much See, this is what's been so great about Shibboleth to me. See, before Shibboleth, I was, you hear do Whole Foods, do this, do that. What if you don't like all of that? You still need to be able to you still need to be able to achieve your goals, right? Shibboleth taught me how to achieve my goals without forcing me to go down lanes I didn't want to be in. So I'm not saying that stuff's not good for you. I'm just saying that Kim Danke doesn't really like it. Okay. So best breakfast casserole. To add it to the grocery list, I click right here. I click here, I go to Publix, and I click add. That's as simple as it is. It's right there. Okay. So now we're going to go back over here, and the last task says check out your created grocery list. Each grocery list can be customized before going shopping. When a full recipe is added to the grocery list, it adds every item needed. You may already have some staples at home. When you look at your grocery list, you can edit the items you do not need to purchase at the store. Notice how each item in the grocery list is listed by category. Isn't that amazing? What I like about that is that there's layer after layer after layer of attempting to educate us. This little nuggets here and nuggets there, and they're placed in the categories to then reinforce, what they are. So let's look at that. So I'm going to click there, and it's going to take me directly to grocery lists. I'm going to click on that Publix list I created. Maybe. Okay, there it is. Okay, so here is my list. Category 1, lean protein. There's the egg whites. There's the chicken breast I added, the Kroger Carb Master. There's that 96% lean ground beef I added. There's fat-free shredded cheese. There's dry mustard. You know what? And look, I like the way they categorize these. I've got dry mustard at home. I don't really need to buy dry mustard when I go to Publix this time. So I'm going to hit this little negative button. It says, do you want to remove dry mustard? Remove. So it's going to remove dry mustard. Oh, you know what? I have salt at home. I don't need that. Okay. Category 2, fibrous carbs. Okay, there's the red bell pepper, which I do like. And then see right here, this says Lewis Healthy Life 35 calorie bread. This is a category 2 fibrous carb bread. If you like a particular one, feel free to buy whatever category 2 fibrous carb bread that you buy. Just because it says Lewis Healthy Life bread doesn't mean it has to be the Lewis Healthy Life bread. It could be another category 2 bread. All right. So for example, I buy Sara Lee 45 calorie. Well, if that's the case, watch this. I'm going to click add grocery items right there. It's taking me back to the food library. I'm going to look up Sara Lee. Sara Lee, 45 calorie. This one is my favorite. Oops, I didn't need to click there to add it to the recipe, grocery list, but. So now I've added it there. I click on that green tab that takes me to resources, foods, and recipes. Come down here and click on my grocery lists. Click on Publix. Now, do you see how it put the Sara Lee 45 calorie in there? Well, then I can just get rid of that one because I don't want to buy that one. Now, I'm not saying that one's not good. I just buy Sara Lee. Okay, and then I would want to get some onions. Okay, those are a category 3 energy carb. And there's that Jennie-O turkey sausage, category 4 protein plus fat. Well, guess what? I don't buy that one. I've made this recipe enough to know. So I'm going to go here and I'm going to type in Jimmy Dean. And it's not that there's anything wrong with that one. The Jimmy Dean one just jumps out at me at the store, so I find it easier. Don't we do things the path of least resistance, y'all? So that's why we got to just spend time figuring this all out, and then we'll get it. Okay, let's see. I'm just going to show you what it looks like. So that's the one I buy, all right? I'm going to heart that one. I'm going to give that one 5 stars. I'm going to click that. I'm going to add it to Publix. Okay, so what I'm gonna do here is I'm just gonna remove that one. And there goes my turkey sausage. I mean, the Jenny O one. And there's the Jimmy Dean fully cooked turkey sausage crumbles. So that is how you create a grocery list and add things to the grocery list. And then watch this, you can print it. And it even prints out with little check boxes. And then that way you can just check them off. If you're like me and lay your little grocery list right there in the little baby seat of the cart, you know, with your pen, and it lays right there, you can just check all your stuff off and then get it all at the grocery store. So that is all about creating checking out the recipe library, making a grocery list, and then add food item from the grocery list, add a recipe to the grocery list, and then check out your grocery list. That's just little steps in helping you do that. And each and everything that you do in the fast track laps is there to help you. And it will be, if you're writing things down as you find them, if you're writing down meals as you find them that you like, you'll start coming up with some meals that you know, big long list of meals, y'all. That's the most important thing, is like, what are we going to eat? What are we going to eat? You know, because there's 5 components to the shield. If you have not watched Sunday night's webinar, please do that, because that is the lifestyle overview. That one is the Shibboleth in a nutshell. What do I have to do every single day to get results? So what Shibboleth is, it's a management system. So we get up to 6 holidays a month in weight loss mode. And the way I do this is I look at the month. So, you know, June 1st was yesterday. I would look at June 1st and say, when am I going out of town? Because most of the time, if you're going out of town, you on holidays. And so what you do is you have perfect days leading up to that. You're going to feel so good, especially if you're going on vacation. How good are you going to feel to be able to have prepared for that? So we can plan those. And then I ask myself, is there any birthdays, holidays, anniversaries that I want to plan for this month? And then I ask myself, okay, is there any other random thing on the calendar this month that I might need to plan for? I mark them on my calendar. And then I can say to myself, you know, there's those days where you've planned a perfect day, and mid-afternoon you're like, I need something. What is going on? What you have to do is you've got to say, I can have that on Saturday. I'm having a holiday on Saturday. Let me learn to delay my gratification until Saturday. So it's really it's helpful. It's helpful to know that you're denying yourself that day, which is a good thing for us to learn how to do. We don't give our children everything they want all the time either. Ourselves, we can't treat ourselves like we're our children and just give whatever. We got to tell ourselves no sometimes too. So if we have to tell ourselves no on a day, you can mentally look at your calendar and go, "Ooh, I'm going to eat that on Sunday after church," or "I'm going to do this, that, or the other." You can just know, and somehow that's mentally satisfying. Okay, so plan that out. Once you get to maintenance, you can do up to 12 holidays in a calendar month. That's what I do. And that's where you really want to be. So it is the weight loss mode where you get up to 6 and you'll still get results. But what are we doing every single day on a perfect day? 5 things. I like to call them my 5 daily disciplines. These are things that I should have been doing all along, no matter what. So one is you get your water in. At least 4 of these. And this is just a simple 16-ounce water bottle. 4 of these would give you your minimum. But if you really want to be fully hydrated and mentally and physically satisfied with water, which is a 0-calorie macronutrient, think about that, then you want to go for a gallon, okay? Start that early in the day, all right? So you're not tinkling all night long. Okay, let's go ahead and get that in early. And what I'll do is I'll drink one in the morning, and then I will set my timer for 30 minutes. I go back in there and drink another one. You know, I want them down. And I know that my husband one day, he says, "Why is this timer going off?" I said, "I'm managing my life." And, and he's like, "Oh man, okay." But we have to do these things to help practice, because you just have to think about the fact that we've had certain habits for however old we are when we get started in Shibboleth that might need to be changed. And it is effort. It is effort to change them, but it's worth every bit of the effort. Okay. So in the next thing, let's see, I got a question. Yeah, Tracy, that's funny. Okay, Dawn says, is it possible to drink too much water? I have always been a huge water drinker. I easily drink a gallon, maybe more daily. It is possible to drink too much water. Okay, so if you're getting a gallon in, that's good. You don't really need to feel like you need to go over a gallon. And the reason I say it's possible, because you could get your electrolytes in an imbalance. Yeah, but a gallon, if you just do a gallon or less, you're fine. You're fine. Yeah. So let's see. Oops. Hang on. Do I have people in the waiting room? I hope not. Okay. Um, okay. So we get our water in. We need to be doing that for health anyway. Number two, we're going to write down our foods. The reason we write down our foods is it helps us be more mindful about what we're doing. How many of you have walked by the counter in the kitchen and popped in whatever was there? Okay, just walk by, pop it in, walk by, pop it in. How many times do we walk through that kitchen just to see if we can pop it in? Okay, so we want to have to write down everything that we eat, because if you go, I'm going to pop that in. Oh, no, I got to write that down. Put that back. Put that back. I got to write that down, because it helps you do things more mindfully. You're more conscious of what you're doing when you have to write them down. So if you bite it, you write it. If you nibble it, you scribble it. If you drink it, you ink it. And if you hog it, you log it. Okay, we write down everything that we eat. You are now a citizen of Planet Shibboleth, and there are no idle bites on Planet Shibboleth. If you lick the dust off of a Dorito, you need to write it down. All right, because that's no longer a perfect day. Okay, Tracy, how do we determine category 2 bread if it isn't listed? You take a picture of the front of the item and the back of the item, and you post it in the Shibboleth Fixed It group and let Kim Shibboleth look at it. I don't ever determine anything myself. I let Kim, the food guru, do it for me. Jessica, can you show which Sara Lee bread you like again? Yes. So what I'm going to do to quickly find that is I am going to go to my little list I just created, because I know it's there. I'll click right here. I really like this bread. My mother-in-law turned me onto this bread. So I like the Sara Lee 45 calorie delightful, and I like the one that's the multigrain. So that's the one I enjoy the best. Now you can do up to 2 slices of bread. Let me give you some tips on bread. Bread. You never want more than 100 calories worth of bread in a meal. So if you ever have a journal review, what they're going to look at first is if you having too much bread and that type of stuff, even approved bread, okay? Even approved bread, you still want to have less than 100 calories per bread. So this is why most of the things that are approved are less than 50 calories, but there are some that are approved that are more than 50 calories, but it'll say on there, on that particular one, you could have 1 slice of that. That's why, see, this whole thing is customized to each item in the food library. So bread, any bread type item, no more than 100 calories per meal. Less bread is always best. I have also fallen in love with an open face sandwich. So that way I don't have to have 2. I'd rather have a little bit more turkey meat or something else on my toast. Let 1 piece of toast be on the bottom. Put some mustard and some other things that I like on there, and then just use a knife and fork and eat it. I like that. I also found that when I was eating an English muffin, because the Thomas Light 100 calorie English muffins are approved, but I ate the whole thing in the beginning and I thought, wow, I feel really full after eating that. And so I wrote in my journal, I feel very full after eating that. because I was trying to express the way, you're trying to identify things and change habits. So it's important to write those thoughts down. Well, sometimes we don't come up with an answer for ourselves right away. But if you write something down, it does kind of help you mull over it in your head. So you know how later in the day you're like, wait a minute, if I feel too full eating the whole thing, why not just do half of one? So I do an open face English muffin too. So I don't feel like I have to eat the whole thing because it just goes boom and just sits there sometimes. So it also saves you money because there's 8 English muffins in a package. If you eat them all up, it'd be 8 meals. So you split them all, you've got 16 meals. And it's open face and you might not feel nearly as full and heavy. Over the 2 years that I've been doing this, I find that I like to feel light. I don't like to feel bogged down. So we went to a Braves game recently and my husband's over there ordering some food, and I could have gotten some brisket and a side salad and been perfect at the Braves game. I could have done that. But it's hot and that food is heavy. Even, brisket, it's heavy. The side salad probably wouldn't have been, but I just felt like it was going to make me feel too heavy. I just find I like to feel lighter now, and everybody will get there. But where was I going with all of this? Okay, so we're going to write down, y'all. We're going to write down what we eat. It's very important. Plus, if you ever need a journal review, you need to have it written down. We won't be able to tell you. We never believe anybody in what they say they've eaten if they don't have it written down because they can't remember. We can't remember. I mean, sometimes I can't remember what I had for breakfast if I didn't write it down, right away. I can't remember it because we've moved on and we're not worried about it. So but we need to write it down to change our habits. That's what we're trying to do here. Also, if you ever say, I'm doing this perfectly and I am not losing weight, the very first thing we're going to ask to see is your journal because we need to be able to help you determine what's going on, and we can make those little edits for you. All right. So then the third thing we're going to do each day is we are going to combine foods in a way that control insulin. There's all sorts of ways to find foods that control insulin. If you are a person who likes to do easy meal replacement type things, we got you. You can do that. If you are a person who loves to cook, we got you. We can teach you how to do all of that. Most people end up doing a little bit of both. Why not know how to do all of it? So sometimes people will say, I just need quick and easy. I want to buy these bars and these shakes and these things from this company. I'm like, okay, we got that too. You just don't have to be forced to buy them every single month. You buy them as you want them. You know what I mean? It's not like a buying club where you have to buy their food and stuff. Let's see. Tracy says, should we write amounts like 1 egg, 2 egg whites? I would. Yeah. Yeah. The reason that is and eventually you might not need to, but in the beginning I would. So for example, if you are having 2 pieces of bread, I would definitely write that down because a mentor would want to know that because that would be the first thing that she could say to you is, oh, hey, let's cut back to 1 piece of bread. Let's make an open face sandwich. Let's do that. Oh, you're having 2 tortillas? Better to have just 1. Okay. Unless it's part of a recipe and that's part of what the meal says you can eat it. But I would write that down, Tracy. Another thing, y'all, when you're combining your foods, make sure that you get enough protein in your meal. Don't skimp. Don't skimp on your protein. Protein will help keep you satisfied from meal to meal. And yeah, don't skimp on that. Okay. And then number 4, we're going to portion control. Okay, Rachel, I'll get to that question in just a second. We're going to portion control. Look, somebody brought me this plate to class one day. Isn't that cute? It was a little portion control plate that she found at Kohl's. And so they were on clearance and she bought all they had and then brought them to class and passed them out to everybody. I thought that's so sweet. But our portion control, we carry our measuring tools with us wherever we go. No excuse, no matter what size plate you've been given, wherever you are, we're going to portion control right here. Just no more than what you can fits underneath your hands. Really shouldn't be any thicker than the thickest part of your hand. My husband, he did this one day to cover up the food, and a lady saw this picture and she says, can he be my mentor? Like, no, we cannot, because I am like your strict girl. You do this. And then I have people, they're being funny, but they'll send me pictures like, I can't see my food. And they'll be at a restaurant and it's stacked up high and they're giving me a hard time. But yeah, we just portion control. Our stomach is really no bigger than this. And so when we do more than that, we are stretching it out. Okay. And then we want to stop grazing. Grazing is hurting our metabolism. That is contrary to what people hear out there in the world of whatever. But we need to stop grazing. Our stomach was not designed to be a grazing stomach. It's only one stomach. Now, this little guy right here, my little friend, this cow, he has a 4-chambered stomach designed for grazing, and they graze all day long. We don't have that. So we're not designed for grazing. Our digestive system is a machine, and if a machine is never given a break, it will eventually break down. So when you know of people that have digestive issues, a lot of times it's because they're overeating. They are never giving their digestive system a break from having to digest. Okay. So let's do that. So up to 3 meals a day. And if you have a moment where you're wanting to give in, Travis calls it mental weakness. I like to call it when you're wanting to give in. Let's not give in. Okay. Let's have a freebie, an extra, or a snack. And that's still a perfect day. Okay. So use what you need to get your perfect days going down. And you'll have great success. So let's see. Stop the grazing is my greatest challenge right now. I've been used to nibbling all day. Yeah, it is. It is. So it's having to tell ourselves no, I'm not going to do that. So this is what I do. So I've got this little thing right here. This says why. Okay. So every time I go over to want to pop something into my mouth, I say, why? Why are you wanting to do that? Are you hungry? And then I start using that filter. I mean, the shield. I start filtering my decisions through the shield. Have I had enough water today? Usually you could just go to water. So have I had enough water today? What did I eat already today? Okay. Did I get enough protein in that meal? Okay, because you want to look, if you were skimping on the protein, maybe you were a little hungry or something. Okay, you want to that would also have to do with combining. And then you just say, okay, when is the next time that I'm going to eat? And then let's say that it's 11. How many of you like get home from work and you want to nibble on something while you're making dinner? And by the time dinner's made, you're full from the nibbling, right? Sometimes we do that. Make yourself an apple cider vinegar. I do Sprite Zero with apple cider vinegar drink, and I sip on that while making dinner. Anything to keep me from just kind of grazing while I'm making dinner. Do you know how much more you're going to enjoy that dinner when you're not full when you start to eat your dinner? Food, actually, when I go to restaurants now, I'm like, man, this is good. This is so good, because I'm just not doing that all the time now. The thing that we think we enjoy the most, we actually stop enjoying it when it's overdone. We just get into a habit of doing it. So you can do it, Leah. All right, I'm going to get back to your question, Rachel. Let's see, Arden, talking about non-skimping on your meals protein, I was very surprised at how much 4 ounces of boar's head chicken is on a sandwich. And I realized I had not been putting enough ounces on my sandwich. Yeah. Now I have the deli cut my meat into 4-ounce portions separated with the wax paper until I learn it by sight. So smart, Arden. Awesome. Awesome. Okay. Ray, talk about apple cider vinegar. How much do you use? Okay, so y'all might figure me out. I am not a measurer. I take the apple cider vinegar and I do this. It probably is just a tablespoon or 2. I don't know. And then I just pour in Sprite Zero until I fill the cup. So y'all see, I can figure out how to do Shibboleth and not have to make my life hard. I don't have to pull out these measuring things and stuff like that. So I just kind of pour it in. I've already had some tonight. Apple cider vinegar has many, many health properties. I don't know them all, but I would like for you to go to Bragg's website, BRAGG, look their stuff up. and you'll see all of the feature, the benefits of ACV. Here's the reason I like it. It is known for helping to regulate blood sugar. And on Shibboleth, we eat in a way that controls insulin, which is regulating blood sugar. So what I do is I just drink it each night to kind of maintain that. But if I've ever had like even an approved saltier snack, even an approved one, or not necessarily salty, approved starchier snack like a category 3 or chips, I'll drink some ACV, and just in case some insulin came out, let me get you back down, get back down. And then I want to see this. I like teaching tools. I'm gonna tell that insulin what to do. So anyway, I drink the ACV. And then if I have a holiday, I'm drinking ACV. So I'm just doing little things to kind of help minimize the impact. So I'm still going to have a holiday at times, but how can I minimize the impact? So that's what I do. And I find that now I actually don't enjoy Sprite Zero without the ACV in it. So, okay, let me go back here and answer Rachel's question. Can you talk about IMF and how that works on your journal? Yes, let me show you. Oh, but Leah, that why question, train yourself to keep asking yourself why. And you're going to realize how many times you have to ask yourself why. Like, dang, yes, I've got to quit this grazing, my goodness, and nibbling. But what you want to do is why. And sometimes you're going to be, why? Because I am stressed and I want to put something in my mouth. And when you honestly answer yourself with that truth, then you can say, okay, but this is not how I'm going to handle that anymore. Maybe I should go outside and walk down the driveway, walk back up. Let me do anything to break the pattern, because this is all about breaking patterns. Because oftentimes we are committed to patterns that keep us in a cycle. So that's why the why question is so important. Maybe it's not that you are stressed. Maybe it's that you're on your way home from work and you just want to sit and relax. Well, that's my thing. And I thought, okay, I'm not doing that anymore. So now I don't sit down in the recliner as soon as I get home, because that's where I wanted to eat something with my feet kicked up, and all that kind of stuff. So I don't do that anymore. So it's the assessing of why you're doing what you're doing that will help you change the patterns. Let's see. Awesome. Let's see, Ray. Okay, Ray says he's a huge lemon in his water fan. I think the ACV may give me the flavor that I get from the lemon. They would be totally different. ACV is a bit tart. Look, like the lemon is tart too, but it's a different flavor. Try them both. Mimi, I drink ACV just about every day in the evening, but I don't feel like I have to drink it all the time. I just have learned to enjoy it. I would never drink it straight. It's too hard on your teeth. I would only do this in a way that's enjoyable for me and beneficial. So it does taste nice. And like 5-calorie cran grape drink, or the 5-calorie cranberry drink. And then, okay, and Jason does it AM and PM. Well, that's one of the things that I probably just would forget to do in the morning. So that's when I do it in the afternoons. But definitely it's helpful. Okay, so let me get over to Rachel's question. IMF. She's asking about IMF in the journal. So let me just say that, remember, if you've watched the other videos, then you're going to have heard me say on Monday night to ignore everything but a perfect day and a holiday. So I don't know if you've heard me say that, but in the beginning, I just want you to put blinders on and ignore everything but a perfect day and a holiday. But since I've had the question about the intermittent fasting, I want to go ahead and answer it, because many of you already kind of know what that is. So we might as well go ahead and talk about it. What intermittent fasting is, it's a version of a perfect day where you have at least gone 12 hours without eating, which is not hard, especially when you use your overnight sleeping time. Okay, if you think about that, it's really not hard at all. So we want to just kind of keep that in mind. So today I had an intermittent fasting day. So I just click on my little drop down menu and I just choose IMF. I'm gonna hit save and go to weekly timing chart so you can see that. So I did an IMF yesterday. And then I am an EFB today, and I had an IMF day. So IMF, when you study and listen to the gold level daily doses, which is, advanced learning, that we don't have to go there until we get living the lifestyle down. See, I don't want everybody to add too many things at one time. But if you're already doing IMF, you might as well just go ahead and mark it in there because you already know about it. They say that it can help you get back into efficient fat burning faster. I say true, but let's just still believe it's 2 days to get back into EFB so that we understand that, I don't know. I just like to think of it like that. 2 days to get back into efficient fat burning. But if you go a period of time without eating, even if it's just 12 hours, you can say you have an IMF day. Now, there are people who intermittent fast different ways. Personally, I stop eating around 4 o'clock, and then I don't eat again the next morning until 8 a.m. But a lot of people, they don't eat in the mornings. That's kind of their way to do that. I want breakfast. I want it. I want to eat. So I eat in the morning. So basically, I do the reverse type of IMF than most other people. But however it is that you do it, if you go 12 hours in a day without eating, then you can call that IMF, intermittent fasting. Okay, y'all, it is 8:30, and on the other channel, on the other back channel, we can go right here. I'm going to show you, if you go to right here on the online webinars, the pink online webinars tab, I don't know where it is. Huh. Well, they're supposed to be doing a video, but anyway, so it might not be there. So just go into Facebook to Travis Martin's Weight Loss Ministry and check out the How I Overcame Food Addiction and Lost Weight. It is awesome. Tammy, I don't know about that coffee on IMF because I don't drink coffee. But I know I need to know the answer, and I've looked it up many times. But I would say that if it's black coffee with no calories in it, that it's probably not going to hurt you, Tammy. Okay, you guys, make sure that you come back tomorrow night at 7:30 where we'll go over some more information, okay? And y'all have a perfect day tomorrow, please, because y'all are going to feel so good when you get some perfect days under your belt. All right. Yes, Rachel. Yes, it is going on. Just go and tell everybody about the Memorial Day sale until it is no longer available. Just go click on shibbolethdeals.com, get your $59 lifetime membership. You get continuing education, updated food library, updated cookbook, updated recipe library, and unlimited amount of content for $59. You're not going to find it anywhere else. So yes. Awesome. Bye, everybody. Y'all have a great night.